Welcome to Cozy Bedtime Stories. Are you ready to immerse yourself for the magic that's about to unfold? Let's dive straight into this magical story of Elias. The Lighthouse Keeper's Secret. Chapter 1. A beacon in the storm. On the edge of the craggy coastline, where waves roared against jagged cliffs, stood the old Belhaven lighthouse. It had guided countless sailors through perilous waters for centuries, its golden light piercing the darkest storms. The keeper of this lighthouse was a solitary man named Elias, who lived in the tower's upper chambers. Elias was known in the nearby village for his quiet demeanor and meticulous work. But no one knew the truth about him. The light of the lighthouse was not fueled by oil or electricity. Instead, it came from an ancient, magical flame that Elias had been entrusted to protect. One stormy autumn night, as thunder cracked and rain lashed against the windows, Elias noticed something unusual. A faint, melodic hum resonated from the heart of the flame. He had heard stories of this sound, a sign that the flame's magic was calling for help. Chapter 2. The Message in the Flame. Elias climbed the spiral staircase to the top of the lighthouse, where the flame burned in its crystal enclosure. As he approached, the humming grew louder, almost like a song. The flame flickered and danced, casting shapes on the walls, shapes that formed into words. The keeper must journey beyond the sea, where the stars meet the water. Danger looms, and the light is needed. Elias's heart raced. The flame had never spoken to him before. He knew this was no ordinary call. The balance of light and shadow was at stake. Chapter 3. The Mysterious Map. The next morning, as the storm subsided, Elias found a sealed chest on the lighthouse's doorstep. Inside was a map that glowed faintly under the sunlight. It depicted a place far across the ocean, marked with a shimmering star. Elias packed provisions and prepared his small sailboat. He couldn't leave the lighthouse unattended for long, but something told him this journey was crucial. As he set sail, the flame dimmed slightly, its light forming a protective beam that stretched across the waves, guiding him. Chapter 4. The Island of Whispers. After days of sailing under the lighthouse's guiding light, Elias reached an island shrouded in mist. The air was thick with whispers that seemed to come from the trees and rocks. As he explored, he discovered a circle of ancient stones etched with runes. In the center lay a pool of water that reflected the night sky, even though it was daytime. The whispers grew louder, urging him to step closer. When Elias touched the water, an image appeared, a dark figure cloaked in shadows, reaching toward the flame. The whispers revealed that this figure sought to extinguish the light and plunge the world into eternal darkness. Chapter 5. The Guardian's Warning. As Elias stood by the pool, a figure emerged from the mist, a woman with silver hair and eyes like the moon. She introduced herself as Seraphine, the guardian of the island. "You have been chosen, Keeper," she said. "The light you protect is one of the last sources of hope in this world. The shadow knows this and seeks to destroy it. But there is a way to strengthen the flame." Seraphine handed Elias a vial filled with liquid starlight. Take this to the heart of the lighthouse flame. It will awaken its full power. But beware, the shadow will try to stop you. Chapter 6. The Return Voyage. Elias set sail with the vial, but the journey back was fraught with peril. The sky darkened unnaturally, and the sea churned as if alive. Strange, shadowy shapes rose from the water, clawing at his boat. Drawing courage from Seraphine's words, Elias held the vial up to the light of the lighthouse beam. The starlight shone brightly, banishing the shadows and calming the waters. When he finally reached the lighthouse, he found the flame burning weakly, its light flickering as if struggling to survive. Chapter 7. The Shadows Attack. As Elias ascended the tower, the air grew colder, and the walls seemed to close in around him. He heard a deep, guttural voice echoing through the chamber. "You cannot win, Keeper," it growled. "The light will fail, and darkness will reign." The shadowy figure from the pool materialized, its form shifting and writhing like smoke. It lunged toward Elias, but he held up the vial of starlight. The light erupted from the vial, creating a barrier between him and the shadow. Chapter 8. The Flames Awakening. Elias reached the top of the tower and poured the starlight into the flame. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, the flame roared to life, its golden light turning into a brilliant cascade of colors: silver, blue, and white. The shadow let out a piercing scream as the light enveloped it, dissolving it into nothingness. The lighthouse's beam now shone brighter than ever, reaching farther across the sea and sky. Chapter 9. The Keeper's Revelation. As the flame stabilized, Elias noticed something new, a small orb of light hovering above the flame. It pulsed gently, as if alive. The flame spoke to him again, this time in a warm, resonant voice. "You have proven yourself, Keeper. The light will endure, and so will you. Your journey has strengthened the bond between us. Now, you are not just its guardian but its partner." Elias felt a deep connection to the flame, as though it were a part of him. Chapter 10. The Eternal Beacon. The village of Willowshade noticed the change in the lighthouse's light. It seemed to bring a sense of calm and hope to everyone who saw it, even in the darkest storms. Elias continued his work as the keeper, but he knew he was no longer alone. The light was alive, and it watched over him as he watched over it. On quiet nights, he often climbed to the top of the tower and gazed out at the sea, feeling the presence of the flame and the starlight that had saved it. The lighthouse was no longer just a beacon, it was a symbol of resilience, hope, and the enduring power of light over darkness. And so, the Belhaven Lighthouse stood, its magical flame guiding lost souls and warding off the shadows for generations to come.